Hey, welcome to my cooking vlog. This is number 8, and today I'm making chicken scallopini. Really simple, easy dish. Takes a little bit of time, and scallopini really just means chicken cutlets basically that are sauteed. So instead of like fried chicken cutlets, they're sauteed. Now, the first thing you do with chicken scallopini is you dredge the scallopini cutlets in a little bit of flour, and then you shake off the excess. Then after you do that, you're gonna saute them in a little bit of EVOO as usual. And I actually got new pans for you today. Look at the ones from my shower, threw them out. But new pans, are you proud of me? Everybody should be kind of proud of me. So I already dredged them in a little bit of flour, and I seasoned the flour with salt and pepper. And that was just to make it quicker for you guys, so when you're watching the vlog, it doesn't seem like it's gonna take that long. But really, the whole recipe to cook will probably take you about 30 minutes if you were to cook it from top to bottom. While these are cooking for a minute or two, I'm going to go over the ingredients with you. I do scallopini with artichoke hearts and lemons. I love the way it tastes. I have the extra lemon just in case, but right now I just have 2 small jars of marinated artichoke hearts. And they're marinated in oil, and it's not the good oil, it's vegetable oil. So I basically just rinse them off a little bit. I rinse one jar and I leave the other. So you get a little bit of the flavor, but you still get the artichoke hearts, which I love. And the ones in the can just aren't the same, so I don't use them. So I have 2 small marinated jars of artichoke that are drained. And I have 1 lemon that I've sliced, just a little bit thin, not too thin. A few cloves of garlic. I use 3. I don't think you need that many cloves of garlic in this particular dish because you're going to have the lemon for flavor and you don't want to overpower the lemon. And always my hot chili peppers, my dried ones that I love and that I keep. And now I restock. This also is going to take a little bit of white wine and, of course, Nanny's favorite in every meal, collagen chicken broth. I should be like a spokesperson for collagen at this point. I think I pretty much use collagen in almost everything I cook. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm going to cook these. As they cook a little bit, you're just going to cook them. They take, you know, a couple of minutes on each side. Just pat them, so get the excess oil off. Some people put butter in there with their EVOO. Me, I try to stay away from the butter just because it's not really that healthy. And I try to go for a more healthy dish. And the butter just kind of takes the healthiness out of the extra virgin olive oil, which is actually not, it's a good fat. It's good for you. So after they're done, I'm going to pat them a little bit, take off a little bit of the extra oil, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the rest. Okay, so we have our scallopini chicken cutlets that were dredged in flour, seasoned with a little salt and pepper, and we cooked them. They're just sauteed lightly in a pan in extra virgin olive oil. And I just put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan just so that they have something nice to cook on. Gives it a little bit of flavor. And the dredging actually, when you end up putting them back into the pan, that little bit of flour actually thickens the sauce for you a little bit, which I like. I like it a little bit, you know, thicker, so it's more like a sauce instead of like a liquid. Now, after it's all done, you take it out, you blot them with paper towels. Now you're going to put your garlic in. And I like to use my little garlic crusher just because it's easier than worrying about cutting or chopping garlic, and I generally like the small pieces. And after you put your garlic in, just remember, again, not to burn your garlic. You're going to make your garlic so that it's light brown. Don't ever make it so that it's too dark, otherwise it gets a little bit bitter. And while my chicken was cooking, I decided to make my vegetables. So I have some asparagus, is what you're seeing on the stove right now. It's just an asparagus. After you have your garlic sauteed, you're going to add in your white wine and your chicken broth. Now, you know we like things juicy in this house, so typically, I don't know, maybe most people add about 1/4 cup of wine. Personally, I usually add a cup of wine, and again, I'm just using the cooking wine. But if you have a great dry white wine at home, by all means, use it. So I'm just going to go for about 1 cup. And again, my all-time favorite, collagen chicken broth. You know, I buy the one that's light and fat-free. I don't think they use, it actually has lower sodium in it too. And I'm going to put about 1.5 cups or so in here of that. Now, you're going to let this come to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, then you'll add in your artichoke hearts and your lemon. Okay, so our liquid is coming to a boil, and you're going to add your chicken back into the liquid along with your artichoke hearts and your lemon. That's for the flavor. Scallopini means thin and pounded chicken cutlets. So just remember when you buy these, if you buy regular chicken breasts, to cut them thin and pound them nice and thin. They should be like, you know, thin chicken cutlets. And I'm going to add it all in. I did not add in the hot pepper today because Lexi's eating dinner and she saw them and she gets a little nervous. I leave the end actually to squeeze a little bit of the lemon. And I'm going to add in my artichoke hearts. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cover this and you're going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Again, that little bit of flour that you have on your chicken breasts will actually make the sauce thicken just a tiny bit. It's not going to be too thick, but a little bit. Cover it all up. And the lemons get so good that you can actually just eat the whole lemon. They're delicious. So here it is. It's going to simmer, and we'll come back in 20 minutes, and we'll show you the finished product, including asparagus. Okay, our chicken is completely cooked. Flavors are combined. It smells amazing. My kids are dying right now. They keep wanting it to be done right this second. Now sometimes, it's up to you how thick you like the sauce. If I'm putting this over pasta, and it's really good over pasta or rice, you might not want to thicken it up at all because you'll have a little bit more juice that way. But if you decide, excuse me, that you want to thicken it up, you just take the chicken out, and the chicken is like butter, truly like butter, falling apart. That's the best part about this dish. That's the other thing that dredging the chicken in flour does, is it keeps your chicken really, really moist. And if you think I'm really smart, or I went to culinary school, you're sadly mistaken. I Googled that. Yes, I did. I actually Googled it. I wanted to know, why do I have to dredge this in flour? Why did Nanny teach me that? She never told me why she needed me to do it. She just told me to do it. See, I'm just like blind leading the blind over here. Now, again, I like it a little tiny bit thicker, so I'm going to take the chicken out. I have not even a teaspoon, I would say, of flour, and I was running my water just to make sure it was cold. I use cold water. Do I know why I do that? No, I think it just makes the flour and the water into a little bit of a paste better. I turn it up, and I'm going to pour this into the sauce just to make it a tiny bit thicker, because I'm not going to be putting it over pasta. It's also great dipped in bread, but you know how we're doing the trying not to eat very many carbs thing in this house right now. Not that we don't eat carbs, that sounds so silly. I just prefer not to eat them with dinner. I'm eating carbs usually like for breakfast or for lunch, not so much for dinner. But if you turn this up, you let it boil for a minute or two, maybe not even a minute honestly, maybe 30 seconds. And those lemons are literally see-through. They're like soft, delicious. You can literally cut them and eat the lemon rind with the lemon pulp. So you're going to enjoy that. If you want it to be a little bit more lemony, here's your extra lemon. Squeeze it in. I taste. It's kind of how I decide if I'm going to add a little bit more lemon. And I think it's thick enough. You want to see how I taste? Hold on. Teeny bit of lemon. Not even the whole thing I'm going to squeeze. Again, over pasta or over rice. Here's your chicken scallopini. Just means it's thin and sauteed, pounded nice. I made it with some vegetables on the side. I roasted some red peppers, yellow peppers. It's just a little small bag, so great. You buy it in ShopRite, you buy it in Costco. They're great raw, but I just roasted them in the oven, a little bit of olive oil. And my asparagus is my children's favorite. My kids love that asparagus. I just saute garlic in a pan with a little bit of sesame seeds and a little bit of soy sauce. You don't need any salt because of the soy sauce. And I just cook the asparagus until it's like al dente in there. And then we're having a salad. And I always put everything in my salad. I have spinach in there. I have tomatoes in there. I have apples in there. Always a fruit, always a nut. Today it's pistachios. Pistachios in my salad. Don't forget to listen to The Ordinary and Extraordinary on NotSoSoccerMomRadio.com. I'm still waiting for you to tell me if you're listening. Come on. Come on board. Keep listening. Bye.